Morning. This is T Skillet. Today's April 15th, and this is the morning updates. This is a show called Panic and Rehab, where we put together an idea of just doing a couple of fun little news stories, what birthdays were on today and what is the day known for, and then some weird but true stories that we find the night before. Anyway, I'm T Skillet. Tyler's out on the road, getting acclimated to his new job, and James is at the doctor's. So there you go. So I'm by myself again, day two, which is fine. And today is April 15th. So let's get into it. Today's birthdays for famous people is Lita Gray. Now, Lita Gray was the little girl in a Charlie Chaplin movie called The Kid. And then she grew up from Charlie Chaplin's movie, The Kid, and grew into a beautiful young lady who Charlie Chaplin married, his second wife. So you could say that Charlie Chaplin married The Kid, but I think they waited till she was a young lady before they got married. How about that? Yeah. Is that weird enough for you for Holly weird? I don't know. And then today's birthday is Elizabeth Montgomery is Bewitched, also born in LA, California, which we all love. She's great. And then let's see. Seth Rogen. Everybody knows Seth Rogen. Of course, if you see Seth Rogen today, that's what he looks like, the Canadian actor. Kind of a pothead, but if I showed you this picture, it's happy birthday, Seth Rogen, and we always wondered, how did this guy become an actor in California? It just doesn't make any sense. But hey, whatever. It's Holly weird, right? Also, Emma Watson's birthday is today, and we all know Emma Watson from this series of movies. I don't know. It's something about, what was it, The Witch or something movie. I don't know. I never really watched it. My kids probably did. But anyway, she looks like this today. So very beautiful actress. Emma Watson. Happy birthday, Emma Watson. She's French. So what do we know about today? Today is National Banana Day. So happy bananas, right? Banana Day. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Today's also Income Tax Day. So we're so happy about income tax. That's fantastic, right? Also, it's national, believe it or not, it's National Laundry Day. So, some crazy person thought doing your laundry should be a national day. So, happy Laundry Day. Go wash some clothes. Or how about this? Go wash some homeless people's clothes. How about that? Go down there but of course, they'll think you're stealing it. So they'll probably cut you with a shiv. So don't do that. It's also National Hand Language Day. So if you didn't know that, that's kind of cool. National Hand Language Day. Weird but true stories. I know you guys are all up for this. First one's kind of good. The second one's kind of weird. But the third one, I want you to put down whatever you're eating. Okay, because you trust me on that one. So the first one, a man buys a painting at a garage sale. Hey, we've all bought paintings, right? At a garage sale, especially for your first apartment. You go to some garage sales, kind of decorate your apartment so it doesn't look too bleak. Because when you first move out of the basement of your mom's house, you have to go rent an apartment, and it's pretty empty. So this guy buys a painting at a garage sale. This is what it looked like for 150 sterling, right? That's kind of high for a garage sale painting. That's like $300. I don't know if I'd paid $300 for a painting at a garage sale, but anyway, so the guy was smart enough to take it to an art dealer, and he found out that it was a missing Salvador Dali painting. So it was worth 20,000 sterling, which is about, I don't know, $40,000. So not bad. He took his $300 and he turned it into $40,000. Now, this sometimes happens. Okay. People on estate sale, your parents or your grandparents will have paintings because that's what they did in the olden days. They bought a lot of paintings. And if you ever get a Bacchus, which is a landscape painting, when they bought those, they were worth $3,000 to $7,000 40, 50 years ago. But when you sell those today, Bacchuses, um, they're worth $20,000, $30,000. I know this one lady whose grandmother had like 7 Bacchuses, and it was just left in the house. They went to empty the grandmother's house and they found all these Bacchuses in there that the husband had purchased over the years. So sometimes you have a small fortune on your hands, believe it or not. All right, this next story is kind of hard to believe. A forgetful husband leaves his wife at a gas station, drives 200 miles, then realizes his wife is missing. So all of a sudden, you're out on a trip with your wife. She goes to the bathroom. You fill up the car. You take off because you're absent minded, and you leave her 200 miles behind you. So the man returns. The police were called by the station because they felt something was amiss, but the police concluded that the man was absent-minded and truly forgot where he left his wife. No arrests were made. That's a weird but true story, believe it or not. Let's see the third story. I don't know. I made it out to sound worse than it was. The fourth story is the bad one. Okay, but this one, okay, these two guys in Britain, all right, these two guys were arrested. They were put in jail because the British court sentenced Daniel Graham and Adam Carruthers to 4 years, 3 months in prison for cutting down a tree. These two guys cut down a tree in Britain, and they got put in jail for 4 years, 3 months. Don't laugh. It's real. All right. That's a real story. Sarah Barnes in Seminole County, Florida, in 2012, she burned down a 3,500-year-old bald cypress called the Senator that was in a park that Seminole County put a park together, protected the fifth oldest tree in the world, a 3,500-year-old bald cypress called the Senator in Seminole County, Florida. And she burned it down while she was high on meth. Yeah, she was high on meth. She was arrested, not for burning down a 3,500-year-old tree that was sectioned off, had a fence around it, and it was in a park. No, she was arrested for having meth on her when she was arrested, and she was sentenced to 30 months behind bars. But the judge suspended her sentence on the condition that she completed 5 years of probation, no charges for burning down the fifth oldest tree in the world. All right. But these two guys, yeah, they get arrested, put in jail for 4 years, 3 months for cutting down a tree in England. So, hey, there you go. Think about that one for a little bit. England, right? Thank God for the revolution. Thank God. All right. So let's see. What's this next one here? Oh, yeah, this crazy guy. All right, well, anyway, this is a weird but true story in Minnesota. This is Eric Leaf Jordal, 26. He was found guilty of first-degree and second-degree murder in the death of his mother, Rosalie Johnson, in Minnesota. He cut up her body, and he ate her brain. The father comes home from work, calls 911 because he can't find his wife, and he was told by his son that he ate his mother. Believe it or not, it's true. The guy did, the 26-year-old, did kill his mother, cut her up, and he ate her brain. So good luck, Eric, in Minnesota, right? Yeah, Minnesota, it's a hotbed. The next story is Minnesota woman Jennifer Lieber, 47, was convicted of killing her lover cousin, David Joseph Novik, when she snapped during an alcohol-fueled night of violence. So, Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes, huh? Pizza made her fly. Yep, Palm Harbor, Florida. A Florida woman, Yasmir Rizzo, may have taken fast food a little too literally. Deputies say she was speeding at 107 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone on a quest for Little Caesars before it closed. So she had to get to Little Caesars Pizza before it closed. Now she faces charges for dangerous speeding. lesson. Some things are worth dying for, apparently, but if your your bond will still cost cash. So 105 miles, and is Little Caesar pizza worth 105 miles an hour? Or maybe that was the excuse she used. I don't know. I'm speeding 105 miles, 107 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone because I want to get to the Little Caesars before it closes. May not be the best excuse to tell the popo. All right. Well, here's a good one. Now, we all heard that if you go to jail, right, and if you use the phone in the jail, all those conversations are recorded. So these guys have figured out how to smuggle in a phone into jail in Atlanta, Georgia. So in Atlanta, Georgia, Jarvis Matthews, serving a life sentence for murder, apparently thought prison is just another office. Using cell phones from his Calhoun State Prison cell, he ran a multi-million-dollar drug and money laundering operation. Now convicted, he faces an extra 25 years. Okay, so he's already serving a life sentence, right? So when he dies, are they going to give him another 25 years of a sentence for using a cell phone to run a multi-million-dollar drug and money laundering operation? How about this? How about if we do this? How about we don't let any people in jail have a cell phone? How about that? I tell you, we have lost. I think we've just lost our basic common sense in America. How about that? Just take all the cell phones away from prisoners in prison, especially the ones serving life for murder. Okay, if you're in for murder, why you got a cell phone? Who are you going to call, right? Well, obviously, this guy, he ran a multi-million-dollar business. Pretty good, And if they do need to use the phone, make them use the one on the wall. That one that we can record and see what he's up to. I don't know. Get some tax tips. All right. Well, we're supposed to not make this a political. We're not supposed to make this a political show. And we did our full 13 minutes. This is supposed to be an hour show. We look forward to having James come back. And this is part of the Panic and Rehab is basically just a show in the morning to have with your coffee and have some funny things, talk about in the morning about weird stories. Like, do you hear about the guy that ate his mom? Who knows, But this part of the Killer Carl Podcast Network, who's on Getter, YouTube, X, Substack, and Facebook. Panic and Rehab is on YouTube and Facebook and X. So we appreciate that very much. And we appreciate you tuning in today. Now, if you have any comments, I'm T Skillet. You can email me at tskilletradio@gmail.com. And if you have some weird stories that we can cover, let us know at tskilletradio@gmail.com. All right, have a great day. It is tax day today. I didn't want to bring that up, but it's today you pay your income tax. Most of the time you've paid it already, and so basically you're just filing the paperwork for a refund. And you can start that process, as soon as January if you get your paperwork from your employer. So anyway, hopefully you don't get too big of a refund, because that means you let the government hold on to your money all this time and they don't pay any interest on it. So try to make it to where you get zero back for a refund and you pay just enough to pay your taxes. So that's the win-win situation. Or if you're hiding some money away from your wife, maybe it's a good idea to have a little refund. I don't know. They always seem to find that check. I don't think of a wife. I know my wife she knows when a check comes in the mail. She gets it way before I do. So, good luck with that plan. And just feel sorry for these two guys in Britain who gets 4 years, 3 months for cutting down a tree. Must have been a hell of a tree. Must have been the judge's tree, probably his monkey grass or monkey limb tree that they cut down on a judge's property. Who knows? But anyway, happy birthday, Bewitched, one of our favorite shows. Don't you wish we could all just kind of wiggle our nose and make wishes happen? Also, I'll leave you with this one last note. Today, on April 14th, the Titanic hit an iceberg, but the ship actually sank and broke apart on April 15th. So today is the remnants of the cracked in half Titanic, and then the survivors sitting in their lifeboats waiting for a couple of ships to rescue them. Like I said, during the whole time that when the ship hit the iceberg, um, they thought they had it under control. They didn't. It had ripped through a good portion of the ship and had flooded too many floors. It was scuttled. I mean, it was, it didn't go down immediately is what I'm trying to say. So it didn't go down immediately. They did shoot off some rescue rockets, trying to get other ships in the area to come to their rescue, which they did eventually. Um, but today was the actual sinking of it. And happy birthday to Lita Gray, who is the kid in the movie with Charlie Chaplin, who he later married as his second wife. But she was older when she married her. All right, have a good day, and and we'll look forward to talking about